How could best friends that are so young that will by law only be represented as boy A and boy B commit such awful crimes to a classmate that their identities will forever be hidden? Let's find out. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. It's so greatly appreciated. It truly, truly is. Before we get started, let me give you my usual disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. Please do not take what I say as fact. Please always do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Next, if you have not liked, subscribed, or commented yet, please consider doing so. It really helps me out, and I really, really appreciate it. Okay, let me just give you major trigger warnings here. This is a really, really difficult case to listen to, but it's such a crazy roller coaster. I beg of you, if you feel that you can, to stay with me on this. But let me tell you that there is talk of SA. It involves very young children. It involves murder. So please take that into account first. But if you're ready, let's start. So Anastasia Anna Kegel was born on February 18th, 2004 in Russia. Her mother decided that it would be best to put her up for adoption and place her in an orphanage shortly after her birth. In 2007, Geraldine and Patrick, who were married and unable to conceive, would see and fall in love with Anna. They both had great jobs. Geraldine was the senior manager at State Public Transport Company, and Patrick would lecture in French at Dublin University of Technology. So they went to Russia to adopt her and bring her back home to Kildare, Ireland, when she was just 2 years old. Even though neither Geraldine nor Patrick had any roots in Russia, they always made it a point to keep her heritage a big part of her life. And one of the ways that they did this was keeping her original given name. Anna was described as a happy-go-lucky kid that loved to sing, dance, perform, and act. She started a YouTube channel where she would upload pretty much anything from performances to makeups to vlogging, just basically whatever she wanted. Anna's rough life didn't come to an end after she was adopted and brought to her new home in Ireland. In fact, her rough life was just beginning. She suffered quite a few medical conditions. Doctors found a tumor in her right ear that required a 5.5-hour surgery to remove it and left her barely being able to hear out of that ear. She had very poor eyesight and a huge scar on the back of her head from eye surgery, along with a scar on her chin from a fall when she was very young. She also suffered a very painful condition where her bones would grow faster than her muscles. She also struggled with her short-term memory. Her mom would attribute this to the fact that she was brought over here at the age of 2, so she was left to play catch up with her peers and the English language. While in primary school, Anna would undergo some bullying. She got picked on a lot for her height, because at just 14 years old, she was 5'8". She was very socially awkward. She lacked confidence. So even though she wanted friends so badly, this was all that this girl wanted, was just friends. She had an extremely hard time making them because of the lack of social skills. When Anna was getting ready to go off to secondary school, her teachers were extremely concerned about the bullying that she would face. These teachers' concerns were very valid because they would end up becoming a reality for Anna. The bullying became so torturous once she got to primary school. Kids would make fun of her for being adopted, saying that she had fake parents. She also suffered a lot of cyberbullying in the comments of her YouTube channel, with people telling her to go unalive herself and sending her death threats. She also struggled with mental health issues. She began cutting when the bullying got really bad. As soon as this came to her parents' attention, though, they got her the professional help that she needed. She had great parents. I mean, she really did. She had been through a lot in her really short life. It's like she was never allowed to just catch a break. Why couldn't this girl just catch a fucking break? She just deserved a break, and nobody would allow her to have one. And it's so infuriating. From the day she landed on this planet, I shouldn't even say the day she landed, from the day that she was born, she was just blow after blow after blow after blow. It's not fair. It is just not fair. Which I think is one of the reasons I have such a hard time with this story. I do. Anna was described as a truly sweet, funny, and amazing person, but people would never give her long enough of a chance to be able to see how great of a person she really was. In 2017, when Anna was just 13 years old, she volunteered her time at a local community center's Halloween party. While at the party, 4 much older boys came up to her. They began messing around with her, laughing at her, and almost like feeding off of her fear. One of the boys told Anna that she was going to have sex with him that night before proceeding to grab her butt. When she got home, she told her parents, who were understandably furious. They figured out who he was. They went down to file a police report. Police would show up at the homes to give the boys like a warning, but nothing more would ever come of it. And I'm kind of not really super surprised by that, because in truth, I don't think that that they could have really done much more. As sad as that is to say, what more could they really have done? Sunday, May 13th, 2018, Geraldine had plans to sit down with her daughter and renew notes for upcoming exams. They spent the day watching movies and eating popcorn. Anna's cousin came over. At one point, the girls ate pizza and they went upstairs to Anna's room to make YouTube videos. It's been said that Anna's cousin was the only friend that she had in her life. And this was very concerning for her therapist, because she wrote in her notes that it very negatively affected Anna. At about 10:30, the night came to an end. Anna's family went home, and the 3 got ready to go to bed. Before going to bed, Anna asked her mom to wake her up before she left for work in the morning, and to be sure to write her a note letting her out of classes early so that she could attend like a therapy session. Morning ran as usual. Geraldine gave Anna a kiss goodbye and headed for the train. Anna ate breakfast, put on her uniform, went to school, went to her counseling session, came home, grabbed the snack, went up to her room, and ate her snack. Okay. She called her mother at 4:02 p.m. to tell her that she was home, but because Geraldine was in a meeting at the time, she was unable to answer. Patrick, who was retired, was sitting outside on the porch enjoying the beautiful spring weather. At 4:55 p.m., Patrick hears the doorbell ring. He goes to the door and he sees one of Anna's classmates, that is only allowed to be referred to as Boy B, asking for her. Patrick calls for Anna, who is very confused when she comes to the door because the two are not friends. So it's very odd that he was there asking for her. Patrick observes the 2 teens like speaking softly, so he decided to go into the other room to give them a chance to talk privately. Patrick says that Anna came into the room and told her father that she was going for a walk. She ran upstairs. She grabbed her favorite black sweatshirt with white writing down the arms that Geraldine had bought for her, and she headed out the door. Just seconds after Anna left, Patrick realized that he forgot to ask her where she was going. By the time he ran to the door to yell for her, she was already pretty far down. She was already pretty far down the block, heading towards St. Catherine's Park. So he just decided to leave it be, and he knew that Anna said she wouldn't be long. He said that although it was unusual for a boy to come calling for Anna, he was happy for her because she was happy to have what she believed to be a friend there to hang out with her. This is what I mean. This is so effed up. This whole story is so effed up. Going on to say that even though she loved spending time with her family, she longed to have friends that were her own age. Meanwhile, Geraldine finishes work for the day and decides to return Anna's call once she boards the train at 5:10 p.m. The call goes straight to voicemail, which is very unusual for Anna, but she didn't think much of it, knowing that she would see her when she got home. Plus, Anna called her mother at 4:02 p.m., so that was just over an hour ago. This is how quickly all of this that I'm about to tell you went down. Okay, guys. It's about to buckle up. It's about to get real. And I will tell you, from this point on, there's really not a break in the shittery, for lack of a better word. Shortly after Geraldine returned home, at about 5:30, Patrick told her that Anna left with a boy and said that she would be right back. Geraldine texted Anna, "Home now." She waited a few minutes. When she didn't receive an answer, she texted Anna again, "Answer me now or I'm calling the police." Patrick told her that they were headed towards the park, so Geraldine walked over to the park to look for her, but she couldn't find her. After dinner, Geraldine got back into her car and drove around looking for Anna. She knew that Anna liked to take long walks, so she was hoping and praying that she would run into her, but she never did. When that didn't work, Geraldine logged into Anna's Facebook page to see if they could get the true identity of boy B, but that was also a dead end for them. A friend of theirs, who was a former detective, advised them to go to the police as Anna had been missing for 4 hours at this point. At the station, Geraldine explained that Anna would always answer her, even if she wasn't speaking to them or mad at them, she would still acknowledge her parents' calls or texts. And although police did take her case seriously, they weren't overly concerned because, like all officers, they love to tell parents that their children will show back up at some point. And this is the biggest pet peeve in the world for me. It really is. Because I can't imagine, God forbid, that was ever one of my children, and you told me, no, they'll show back up. I am enraged just thinking about it. I want to choke somebody just thinking about it. I can't even imagine being in the situation. It's the biggest pet peeve in the world for me. It truly is. It really, really is. The first job after figuring out the identity of boy B was to go to his house to speak to him. He told police that he did go to Anna's house that day and that he walked to St. Catherine's Park before leaving her at 5:40 p.m. The following day, Anna's family woke up early to resume the search while police went to speak to boy B for a second time. This time, he told police that he called for Anna on behalf of his best friend, boy A, stating that Anna had a crush on boy A, but that he did not have the same feelings for her. So why did you lure her to a park to meet him, boy B? He says that after he brought her to the park to meet up with boy A, he left to go home and do his homework. Officers went to the park with boy B so that he could show them exactly what route he took that day with Anna in the park. After making the route that boy B showed them, police dropped boy B back off at his home. While police were combing the area looking for any evidence that could lead them to Anna, they came across a man and a boy. The man told police to check out the back of a local sewage treatment plant because a number of teens tend to hang out there. Police would later realize that the man and the boy that came up to him that day were Boy A and Boy A's father. Tuesday afternoon. Meanwhile, let me just say, I don't know if Boy A told his father to go up to the officer or if Boy A's father thought, that he was just helping out. I don't know that, but it just seems rather strange, right? Tuesday afternoon, police decide to bring Boy A and Boy B to the park with them to show them the exact route that was taken. Two detectives, Boy A's father and the boys, begin to walk, with Boy B leading the way. Officers immediately realized that Boy B was taking them a different way than he did the first time that they went to the park with him. Both boys would pause and look at each other when they came to a path near a BMX track in the park, and they gave each other a look. Police realized that there is more to this story, so they decided to take the boys down to the station to get more specific statements from them. Boy B started his interview process by telling them that Boy A had asked him to go to Anna's house and asked her to come on a walk with him to St. Catherine's Park so that they could talk. Going on to say that again, that once he got her there, he left to go home and do his homework. Boy B was described as a highly intelligent child who spoke calmly and in clear and precise sentences. When police asked him if he knew what the word detention or murder meant, he gave a concise and accurate answer. When he was asked if he knew what the word arrest meant, he told police that it meant that you're detaining me for something that I did or might have done. Remember, this is a 13-year-old boy. Large parts of the initial interview with Boy B were spent getting to know him and to earn a rapport with him. Police asked him about his interests and hobbies. Boy B told police that he liked to play games like Halo and Outlast. His favorite Marvel character was Deadpool, and his favorite YouTuber was PewDiePie. For context, PewDiePie is a YouTuber with 111 million subscribers. His content includes vlogs, gaming, and reaction videos. Boy B spent the night in an office that was located on the second floor of the police station. Because of the Children Act, which forbids a child suspect that is being detained to come into contact with an adult that's being contained, the offices had to be cleared and bedding had to be brought in for Boy B and his mother for the night. The following morning, Boy B went to police to tell them that he had lied to them in his initial story. His new story stayed fairly the same, except for the fact that this time he told police that he and Anna met Boy A at the BMX track in the park, not by the courtyard that he had previously said. Boy A gave a recount of his movements from that day in a separate interview room with his parents as well. He also says that he and Boy B were best friends. He tells police that on May 14th, 2018, he was home doing his chores when Boy B called him up to meet with him at the park. He says that when he arrived at the park, that Anna was with him and that he was very surprised by this, saying that he knew Anna but not that well. He tells police that Anna pulled him aside to tell him that she had a crush on him. He claims that the feelings were not reciprocated, but that he let her down gently. He says that Boy B had already left at this point and that after he politely let Anna down, she turned and walked away without ever saying a word. After Anna left, Boy A says that he also began to walk home alone when he was attacked by two males who pushed him to the ground and began kicking him. He tells police that the attack finally ended when he was able to get up on his feet and kick one of the men in the head, which caused the men to leave. Really? That's what you come up with? I guess that's what a 13-year-old comes up with. So police obviously didn't believe this. That this teenager was being attacked by two grown men, that he was able to get himself up, kick one of the men in the head, and this forced them to run off scared. It defies logic. Let's be real. But police decide to play along, and they take his assault case seriously. They work with Boy A to get a composite sketch of the attackers. When police speak to people at the park that day, they can't find anyone that had seen two men, along with no CCTV picking up the men or the attack. May 17th, 2018. Anna Kriegel's body would be found in an abandoned farmhouse called the Glenwood House. It sits on 100 acres of farmland and is at the edge of St. Catherine's Park. By May of 2018, the house was riddled in bottles and filth. It had become a favorite spot for teenagers to hang out despite its collapsing roof and several rooms being gutted from fires. One detective searched the outside of the home while his partner searched the inside of the home. He entered the home through the rear porch. At the end of the corridor, at the front of the house, the officer walked into what would later be called Room 1. Because the windows were boarded up, it was very dark inside the room. The officer knew that he was either looking at a mannequin or something much worse. He called his partner, who would join him, and the two would determine that they had indeed found 14-year-old Anna Kriegel. She was completely naked other than wearing a pair of black socks. Something was covering Anna's face, which was first believed to be a cloth of some type, but it was later determined that it was her hair that was stuck to her face. Her clothing and her iPhone were in pieces scattered on the floor in the room. There was a large blood-stained cement block and a large stick, along with blood staining on the carpet and walls. She had insulation tape wrapped around her neck, with 3 of her fingers stuck to her neck as if she was trying to rip the tape off of her neck. She had about 50 injuries that included bruises and lacerations all over her body, with the most serious ones to her face, head, and neck. Anna's cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head and neck. Her manner of death was homicide. It has also been alleged that there was attempted penetration to Anna's privates, but it was not determined what the object was and if Anna was even alive at the time. So, police have pieced the incident together as follows. Very shortly after she entered the room, she was beat with a heavy stick, then hit 4 times with a heavy object like the cement block. She was then pulled towards the window where she was SA'd. Her false nails were all over the room, which indicates that she fought for her life. The evidence found at the scene all belonged to Anna except for some semen that was found on Anna's top. So, the investigation obviously focused on Boy A and Boy B, but police wanted hardcore evidence before they confronted the boys, especially because the boys were so young. Luckily for police, they had already sent off Boy A's boots for investigation about his alleged assault. Police also took the boys' phones. On Boy A's phone, they found a screenshot of YouTube videos that included the 15 most gruesome torture methods in history, horror films that will blow everything away, and a reference to a popular horror game called Until Dawn. There was There's also a result for Jeff the Killer. Okay, so who is Jeff the Killer? First and foremost, he is not real. He's a completely fictional character along the same lines as Slender Man. The way the story goes is that at 13 years old, Jeff, his parents, and his brother moved to a new town. When this is where Jeff and his brother encounter three bullies that threaten them with knives. The way the story goes is that Jeff and his brother beat the bullies up badly, and he allows his brother to take the fall for everything and get carted off by police. Jeff is then riddled with guilt over letting his brother take the fall for everything. Jeff meets up with the bullies again, and they burn him badly in an attack with alcohol and bleach. The burning leaves Jeff permanently disfigured, with his skin bleached white and his mind snaps. After he's discharged from the hospital, doctors attribute his insane behavior to the painkillers that he's taking. He purposefully cuts a permanent smile into his mouth and cheeks and burns his eyelids so that he can always see his face. Jeff then goes on to kill his parents and his brother, meeting him with the instruction to go to sleep before stabbing them and disappearing on a wider and less discriminating killing spree. Again, this is not real. This is all completely made up. It's just like a Slender Man thing. But it was found on Boy A's phone. May 23rd, 2018. The parents of Boy A and Boy B were told that their children would be arrested the following day, and they were told to bring the boys down to the station. What the parents were not told was that immediately after the boys were arrested, both homes would be searched. But to be respectful because of their age, police actually rented cars to drive over to the homes and took evidence out of the home in black sacks to be as discreet as possible. After his arrest, Boy A was interviewed again with his father. Just as they had done with Boy B, they asked him if he knew the difference between right and wrong, to which he replied, leaving the door open for someone is right. Tripping someone up or stealing a chocolate bar is wrong. When they asked him if he knew the difference between a truth and a lie, he said the truth is if you tell somebody what happened, and a lie is if you don't tell somebody what happened. When he was asked about his interests, he said that he liked anatomy and the human body, inner life, and the skeleton. When he was asked if he liked drawing live people, he responded, no, more evolutionary. When he was shown CCTV footage, he tells police that the two people that were caught on camera might be the two men that beat him up and asks if there is any more footage. In actuality, the people that were caught on CCTV were Boy B and Anna. When he was told that the blood on his boot belonged to Anna, he said, are you joking? You can't be serious. To which officers replied, what I'm saying to you is the only place that you could have gotten the blood on your boots was in the room. So were you in that room? To which he replies, no. When detectives showed Boy A picture of the tape around Anna's neck, he replied that he never had any tape like that. When they show Boy B the same picture, he responds that the tape had belonged to his father and that he lent it to Boy A before the murder had taken place. When Boy A was asked about the search results on his phone, he told police that when he was searching up horror films online, they showed up on the search results. When Boy A was asked to admit to any involvement in the death of Anna Kriegel, his responses were always, no comment or I don't know. By the fifth interview, Boy B had admitted to a little more of the story. Oh my God, I just can't. He told police that Anna had gone into room 1 with Boy A. Boy A told him to leave, but he decided to walk around the home and explore. While exploring, he heard the sound of shuffling, which made him run to room 1. He says that he sees boy A flip Anna in a judo-type movement, pull off her clothes, and begin to choke her. He says at that moment, he began to beg him to stop doing this. That's when he says that boy A and Anna turned to look at him, which made him run away back to his house. Okay, so police know this is not the entire truth, but it's definitely closer to the truth than what boy A has been saying to them. In their sixth and final interview with boy A, police copy some of the most damning statements made by boy B, hoping that it would force boy A into trying to defend himself. The only response that boy A had for the officers, though, was just to say that boy A was lying. Thursday, May 25th, 2018, 10 days after Anna's death and just hours before the 24-hour questioning limit expired, boy A was charged with the murder of Anna Kriegel. An hour after this, he was brought to the Children's Court in Smithfield in Dublin with his parents for his first court appearance. The Children's Court is described as a gray and brown stone building. When you walk inside, you go upstairs to find two small, cramped courtrooms. The Children's Court is described as a district court and as the lowest tier on their criminal justice system. Because of the severity of boy A's crimes, he was transferred to Central Criminal Court, where children are typically tried as adults. The judge told boy A's mother that she could sit beside him if she wished, before asking boy A if this was his first time in court, to which he replied yes. This is how young these children are. That literally the judge is like, you can sit with your mommy. I'm not even saying that to be an a-hole. Seriously, in all seriousness, this is how young these children are, that they're sitting with their mommy. Boy A's parents were initially concerned about getting bail for their child, but the judge in this case was not even allowed to grant him bail because of the seriousness of his charges. It would have to be taken to a higher court. So instead, he gave his parents a few minutes to say goodbye to him before he got carted off to big boy jail for the big boy crime that he committed. And if that seems harsh to some, I apologize. I did go back and forth in my head a bit to see if I could find some compassion for him, to which the answer is no. I can't. I just can't. This poor girl had been through so much. She was going through so much at the time, and she was targeted by boy A for literally no reason. No reason at all. She didn't really know these boys. She didn't really talk to these boys. They were nothing more than classmates. I just can't. I know. I even thought, like, oh my God, like, what if I was boy A's, God forbid I was boy A's mom or something, but no, I can't. I just can't feel bad for him. She did not deserve this. This girl deserved every break in the world. She had been through way too much. It's sickening. It's just sickening. During the search of boy A's house, police found a backpack in his bedroom. Inside the backpack were gloves, knee pads, shin guards, a scarf, and a homemade mask. Anna's blood was found on the inside and outside of the mask, as well as on the knee pads, gloves, and backpack. The gloves were especially important in the case because there were no fingerprints found at the scene. The second examination of boy A's two cell phones included almost 12,500 images of PORN, several PORN videos, and searches for child PORN, horse PORN, dead boy prank, and abandoned haunted school. Analysis of the semen found on Anna's top matched the DNA that belonged to boy A. All of this new evidence allowed police to bring boy B back in for questioning. He told police that he had a conversation with boy A the month before the murder that went a little something like this. Boy A, hey, want to kill somebody? Boy B, no. Boy A, hey, why not? Boy B, because I don't like saying this word, retarded. Boy A, oh, come on. Boy B, who are you planning on killing? Boy A, Anna Kriegel. Boy B, in your dreams. Boy B says he just thought that his friend was joking and that he had no idea what boy A was planning on doing when he went to get Anna Kriegel for him on May 14th. When asked why he didn't do anything to stop what was going on in the room, he responded because he was frozen in fear. He says that he originally lied when he was first questioned because he was just trying to forget that it ever happened. I mean, I guess I could kind of see that from a 13-year-old. I'm slightly torn on I didn't know something bad was going to happen, but I feel like I could teeter-totter on that, maybe. Boy, I forget about boy. He's done. He's done in my world. He's done. Okay. So referring to telling Anna's family the truth, police asked, did you not think you owed it to Anna's family? To which the boy replied, he was scared of being framed by boy A. He says he was ashamed of not helping Anna that day. To which the detective said, but you could have saved her. And boy B says, I know. The police say, why didn't you try to save her? And boy B says, I don't know. Police accused the boy B of telling lie after lie after lie, telling him, you go and collect a girl that boy A tells you that he wants to kill, and you bring her to an abandoned house, and you, in your words, hand over that girl to boy A that you knew wanted to kill her. They go on to tell boy B, and then you were deceptive afterwards. You lied to everybody. Lie. You're in a corner. You tried to wriggle out of it, telling a story to suit. Do you see how this looks? To which boy B replies that yes, he does. Police tell boy B that he let a charade play out for days. He let people search for Anna. Meanwhile, he knew where she was the entire time. To which boy B responds, I didn't know that he would murder her. I kept thinking to myself, this isn't real. This isn't happening. I kept thinking boy A wouldn't do this. It's not like him. Boy A would spend more than 2 months in prison before being let out on bail on August 2nd, 2018. Boy B would spend about a month in jail before being let out on bail on August 21st, 2018. This was a heavily supervised bail, and it was only until their court cases started. In Ireland, the legal age for criminal responsibility is 12, but that drops to 10 when R-word or murder is involved. At just 13 years old, boy A and boy B were the youngest people in history of the state to be charged with this type of crime. Unless somebody else has come along since then to claim the reins, which, Lord God, I pray that never happens. They are the youngest people in the history of the state. Boy A was charged with the murder of Anna Kriegel and of aggravated SA, with the three main elements of the case being the CCTV footage, the forensic evidence, that linked him to the scene and the fact that he lied to police about being attacked by two strange men. Boy B was a slightly different story. If the jury believed that he lured Anna Kriegel out of the home, knowing in advance what Boy A's plans were for her that day, then he was guilty. If he did not know what the plans were for her that day, then he was innocent. After weeks of testimony, the jury had reached a verdict. Boy A was found guilty of murder of Anna Kriegel and of the aggravated SA of Anna. Boy A's father put his arms around his son while he cried. Neither one of Boy A's parents spoke a word. They just wept. Boy B was also found guilty of the murder of Anna Kriegel, with the jury determining that had it not been for his actions on that day, luring her out of the home and bringing her to Boy A, Anna Kriegel would still be alive and well. It's true. She would be. I go back and forth with him because I wonder, did he really think that this was going to happen? Or did he just think that his friend was being a jerk? My friend would never do that. Boy B, I go back and forth with. I do. Boy A, forget about it. Like I said, forget about him. I don't know Boy B, though. Boy B's father began shouting, "You bunch of scumbags, you bunch of pricks, innocent boy." He then clapped sarcastically as the two boys were led away. Geraldine and Patrick Kriegel sat silently with their eyes closed as the verdict was read and just spoke very briefly outside of the courtroom.
McIntyre, our liaison officer, for holding the family up through all of this pain. Brendan and the legal team, the jury and the judge. The media for being so understanding. The victim support unit, our family, our friends and our neighbours. And thank you to all of the wonderful people out there that supported us and kept us going.
Justice has been served for Anna. The judge has decided on the sentence, and that duty lies with him alone. For our part, we can only say that forever is not long enough. Please remember Anna and keep her in your hearts somewhere. Thank you.
Why Anna was picked to be the one that was killed that day may never be answered. On May 5th, 2019, Boy A was sentenced to life in prison with a review period after 12 years for Anna's murder and another 12 years for the SA of Anna. What? This is what I mean. A review period after 12 years. What the F do you think this kid has learned in 12 years? Boy B was sentenced to 15 years for Anna's death with a review after 8 years. Regardless, he needs to do something. He does. Like I said, he absolutely needs to do some sort of time. I just wonder. I don't know. I wonder if he truly thought that his friend would do something like this. I don't know. If he knew, then you know what? The boys were held in Opperstown Detention Center in North Dublin until they turned 18 in 2022, to which then they were transferred to an adult prison. After the trial, outrage was sparked when the public found out that Anna's whole life history and mental health journey was on display for the whole world to know, but that the identities of Boy A and Boy B were never, ever to be revealed. It's actually a crime, and I'm thinking just in Ireland only because really, truly, if it's somebody outside of Ireland that reveals their identities What are you going to do about it? But I don't know for sure. Nevertheless, it is literally a crime to ever release the identities of boy A and boy B. Along with this, upon release, they will be granted new identities, which I kind of have an issue with. Like, I disagree with this notion 110%, and I could see not releasing their identities prior to being convicted. 100%. Listen, these are little kids. If they were innocent, no, you should absolutely not release their identity. But they were found guilty in a court of law. And I mean, they have the chance to be released. Boy A is going to be reviewed in 12 years, or even if he's reviewed in 24 years. He was 13 at the time. Why should the community not have the right to know that this type of person may be released into their community? I would be furious if I lived in Ireland and I knew that there was a chance that someday that these boys, who will be men at the time, could be walking right beside me and I would have no idea that they were released to my community. I would be none the wiser. Anna Kriegel's funeral took place on May 31st, 2018. Her family requested that mourners wear sparkle and color in Anna's memory and that any donations be made to the Russian-Irish Adoption Group. All right, guys, if you're still here, thank you. I love you and I appreciate you so very much. Leave me a like and a comment. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. I really appreciate it. Until next time, if you have any case suggestions, email me, harding527@yahoo.com. And until next time, stay safe out there.